Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the mind and the body and the illusion of separation that accompanies those. But first I'll start with the definition of existence. For something to exist, it has to be constant. This may seem obvious, but it'll make sense. If something isn't constant, it exists for the time that it is constant, and then once it's gone, it no longer exists. This includes a transition from one state to another. Since we were young, or since birth, we've been taught to believe that we are the mind and the body, and that we are restricted to that. That's what we are. But notice neither of those are constant. Your body replaces itself every 7 years. All of the cells are replaced. So that means for some of you, you might have been replaced 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 or 5. I'm almost on my 3rd round. And the mind is transient. Your beliefs change. Your values and ideas are always changing. You're always adapting as a person. So what has been constant since you were born then? In my introspection, it's been a long time looking for what I was, until I realized the way I was going about finding my true nature was a bit wrong. And the fact that the way to get at one's true nature is to find out what they aren't, not to find out what they are. This is because what you and I are isn't something that can be explained by words. It's not something that can be conceptualized because it's external to concepts. It's external to most things, really. The only thing it isn't external to is you, and that's because you're it. The way to explain it would be to call it the present witness. You are awareness itself, or consciousness. You witness everything that happens to you in your body, everything that happens in your mind. Thoughts come and go, feelings come and go. All of them are transient. The only thing that I found I truly know, and it's dangerous to deal with in absolutes because nothing is absolute, but the only thing I found that's constant is awareness itself. When you remove the idea that you're the body or the mind, there's no longer a feeling of separation from anyone else or anything else. You realize that the apple in your hand that you're tasting, observing and eating and doing what you do with, is you essentially. Looking at it, the rays of light go into your eyes and into your head. The feelings go up your arms into your head. The taste is inside you. Everything that is perceived by you is happening to you. So, essentially, you are your world, as cheesy as that sounds. Because when you remove the concept of object permanence, The idea that babies learn when they're young, when you bring a blanket up, they have no idea that you're behind it because they can't see you, they're not aware of you. So, for example, when I go and climb a mountain, I'm no longer aware of my friends or family or my life external to where I am in the moment, external to what I'm feeling. Trying to describe one's true nature is difficult because it's always changing. Not in the way that the mind and the body change. It's always there, but what it perceives, what it's aware of is always changing. So, you could be on top of a mountain looking out at a city, and in that moment you would be the city. That city is inside you. You're perceiving it. In the end, there is no you, but for the sake of convenience, I'm going to say that there is. But when you come to terms with this fact, and it won't work from just listening to me, you have to figure it out yourself. I'm just trying to help lead you in the right direction. But when you come to terms with this, there is an overwhelming feeling of connection with everything around. Because you realize that everything around you is you, and you are it. It all disappears when you remove yourself. You don't like the look of an environment, you move yourself to a new one, and that's now your environment. The only reason there is illusion of constant, that I've been here today, I've been there today, and those led me to here, is based off memories and perceptions, which are products of the mind. The only reason you feel that you are constant and you're not always changing or you're not always being replaced is because you have a string of memories, a story essentially, telling you who you are and what you do, what you like and what you dislike. And when you get rid of this string of memories and all the ideas you have about everything, all of the concepts, there's a sense of freedom that accompanies that because you're no longer bound by false ideas. When someone insults you, you get angry. When people disagreed with me or made fun of my looks or whatever, not that happened a lot, but when it did, I felt inclined to defend myself, to defend my identity. And I see now that that's my ego defending itself. What you're trying to do here by getting at your true nature is killing your ego, basically. And that's the last thing it wants, which is why it always tries to take the present moment away from you, which is why it always feels like it needs to defend itself, which is why it always comes up with excuses. And once you rid yourself of your ego, there is no you to be offended. There is no expectations to be anywhere, so you can't get let down. You don't make assumptions. You don't feel like you have a sense of ownership over your partner, because you are your partner. As weird as that sounds, and they are you. And when you come in contact with anyone, two different consciousnesses become one, and you interact. Anyways, this is just a bit of a surface level explanation of the body and the mind, and why you aren't either of those. In essence, we're all pure awareness, but unfortunately we've overcomplicated everything by trying to compress the universe into something that's understandable. Which is not, you can't, it's not possible. I'm not negating science or religion or philosophy. These are very useful things that have got us to where we are now. I just believe that the next stage of evolution isn't going to be one of physicality. I think it will be more along the lines of evolving the consciousness into a more refined being. But at the end of the day, all that matters is if you're happy. That's all I've ever been going for this enlightenment. I haven't been going to get psychic powers or the ability to remotely view other places or any of that mystical stuff, because those are all ideas. They're all concepts to make people feel special, to enlarge in the sense of their identity that their ego has created. When you are no one, and when there's nowhere to go and nothing to do, there's like an ultimate sense of freedom that accompanies that. And the way to get towards that is to learn to observe your mind, see it for what it is, enjoy the moment you're in, be aware of the present, and don't worry about shit, man. None of it matters that much. I don't know, that's my ideas. So yeah, chuck me down your ideas. I want to hear them. Thank you for listening, and you have yourself a wonderful day or night or morning.